The moment you have an idea for a software product, the urge to start building is almost overwhelming. You want to open your code editor and see that idea take shape immediately. In a saturated market, high-quality, functional software is the baseline expectation rather than a competitive advantage. This creates a dangerous friction for founders. Writing code provides the instant gratification of visible progress, while testing whether anyone actually wants that code requires grueling, ego-bruising market validation. This chart shows why startups die. A staggering 42% fail because there was simply no market need. Technical issues only account for 14%. We perfect the product's function when the actual risk is that nobody cares. On day one, success depends on gathering enough objective evidence to greenlight or kill your idea before you write a single line of code. Zero-code validation provides a structured process to prove economic demand for your solution without engineering effort. This method moves away from the traditional high-risk approach of building a minimum viable product just to see if people like it. Even a minimum build carries significant capital risk. Instead, this validation loop moves through 3 distinct phases of testing. You start by extracting a qualitative signal, translate that into a quantitative signal, and finally, secure the ultimate proof. Treating these 3 steps as a scientific method disciplines your decision-making. It forces a confrontation with reality to counter founder bias and prevent months of wasted capital. Phase 1 generates a qualitative signal by talking directly to the people you believe face the problem you want to solve. This requires volume. You need to conduct 15 to 20 unscripted, 30-minute interviews with your target demographic. During these calls, strictly investigate the user's past behavior and current workflows. Avoid pitching your future solution. Your goal is to uncover the exact emotional and financial cost of their problem. The precise words they use to describe their pain will eventually become your marketing copy. This phase is often uncomfortable. It frequently reveals that your initial premise was based on a misunderstanding of the market. However, an ego-bruising realization in week 1 is vastly cheaper than discovering no one cares after a 6-month build phase. Once you have the language, phase 2 gathers quantitative data to prove that strangers actually value the solution. You do this with a simple landing page. As this mock-up shows, you only need a clear value proposition derived from your interviews, a fake pricing tier, and a strict call to action like join waitlist. To get valid data, you need eyes on that page. That means spending $100 to $500 in targeted ads or performing intense outreach in niche communities. This funnel illustrates the benchmark for B2B success. You are looking for an 8 to 12% visit to sign-up conversion rate. If numbers fall below that mark, determine if the issue is poor ad targeting or if the idea simply lacks market pull. Collecting an email address from a stranger is the first real proof of market interest. It separates a polite compliment from an actual intent to buy. The final hurdle is the ultimate proof, asking for an upfront payment or a signed letter of intent before the software exists. You can make this pitch using Figma mockups or a well-crafted slide deck to walk potential clients through the exact outcome you will deliver. You might also use a concierge MVP, where you manually perform the service behind the scenes. This proves users are willing to pay for the result, regardless of how it is delivered. Be prepared for a reality check here. When it is time for customers to actually open their wallets, you will likely face a 70% stall rate. Rejection at this stage provides a clear signal, preventing the development of a product that people will praise but never pay for. Securing actual capital or solid contractual commitments is the only evidence that justifies transitioning into the engineering phase. Validation depth is not a one-size-fits-all metric. The proof required changes based on how you intend to fund the company. This matrix breaks down the validation threshold for 2 main founder profiles: the bootstrapped micro SaaS founder and the VC-track enterprise founder. If you are bootstrapping, you operate in niche communities. You run a quick 3-week validation sprint aiming to secure 3 to 5 early paying customers. This path results in slower organic growth, but you retain 100% of your equity and total decision-making control. The VC track requires a heavier lift. Over 2 to 3 months, you need 50+ enterprise interviews, a proven $1 billion total addressable market, and signed letters of intent. That proof unlocks millions for aggressive growth, but you surrender significant equity, accept board oversight, and commit to a high-pressure 7 to 10-year exit timeline. Understanding your path is critical. Applying scrappy bootstrap validation to a venture capital pitch or demanding enterprise LOIs for a small micro SaaS leads to structural failure from day one. The fastest way to succeed is to aggressively kill bad ideas early. Lock them away before they consume your resources. Consider the economic trade-off, an intense 4-week validation sprint versus 6 to 12 months of wasted engineering and burned capital. Embrace the pivot. Actively seek out the flaws in your own ideas until you find a problem that the market is desperate to solve. True validation is an exercise in discipline. It means holding back your urge to write code until the market demands that you build it.